Hold on, let me. There we go. Do I have everything set up? Let me check. Audio is good. Okay. Let's see. I think. Hold on. Press more. What does it do? Okay, no, okay, let's do that, and let's do this. I set it to Warframe, but it doesn't seem to be taking. Oh, there we go. I got it. Live chat. There we go. Am I supposed to? Yeah, I'm supposed to be wearing a different outfit. Hold on. I think it's 6. No, it's 7. No, sorry, it's 5. 5. I'm counting up when I should have been counting down. Ah! Let's see. And boom. Shit. I forgot that I started doing that. Let's click on sources, window capture, properties, Warframe. There we go. There we go. We got it. We got it. Oh, I keep mentioning this because it's just so on my mind. Yeah, how do I even say this? So the video is doing well, but not really. It has a lot of likes, but it also has a lot of dislikes. But the only comments I'm getting are bad comments. But there's obviously people liking it enough to subscribe. And so it's mixed messages. In fact, I don't feel like well enough to make a video today, since the video I was planning on being related to the other video. So I'm just like gonna wait it out and see if I can like relax for a while. You know, I've never had this happen before. That's like the weird thing. I think now that I started to get a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, I'm exposed to more people. And one of the comments was one of those r/ things. And then somebody commented as if they came from there. So I think somebody posted it on a Reddit site. And you know how I fucking feel about Reddit. I truly believe that there's a lot of people from Reddit watching it. And that's not good. I don't like Reddit. And Reddit doesn't like me, so I'm not feeling well today, mentally. But I should be fine if I adjust to the situation. So this is gonna be what I'm gonna play with. I'm gonna be doing Steel Path. I do enjoy Steel Path, but I'm gonna see if I can like go. I'm not gonna go solo. I'm just gonna go to like the high Steel Path, just because I feel like having some fun. Oh, I'm on solo. There we go. Survival. Popping some bones. Hold on. Oh, I almost took off my headphones from my head. Okay. I plant my feet on the ground so I can actually straighten my fucking back.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
I honestly don't like how arm cannons have such a weird walk. It always struck me as like super strange. Alright, let's do this.
Our foes have compromised the habitation systems. How predictable. Stand by for life support.
See, Zaku, who's just staying behind for some reason. Ah, he's doing good. What is that? What is that noise? I need to know so I can make it stop. How does the Atomos do so much damage? I actually have no idea. I just put this shit together and I was like, yo! And then all of a sudden, it just started doing damage like this and I'm like, okay. I kind of sort of don't understand what happened. I kind of want to turn the sound down a little bit. What is the sound at? Feel pleasure? Oh, nice. Oh, that sounds like... It kind of reminds me of... Oh, it kind of reminds me of like an adult game curator. Not curator, curator. It's someone who, just... looks at a bunch of adult games and says, this is good, this is not good, stuff like that. They're usually really wholesome, honestly. I would say, it's kind of strange that some of the more mature places tend to be more wholesome. And I mentioned this during a stream last time, but whenever I post to, like, I'm not going to say what this site is, but an adult site, I always feel so welcome. And it's so interesting to see that, like, whenever you... Actually, like, I had a weird insight from somebody before. The fact that there's no point system tied to the likes and dislikes seems to be where people will actually say their mind rather than try to get brownie points. And whenever you're trying to contend for brownie points, it tends to get pretty toxic. But when in adult sites, there usually isn't even a like system for the comments, so it usually isn't a problem like that. Only time there's a problem like that is if one of the creators decides, I'm gonna make a video where I'm gonna talk the whole time. And it's like, no, I want to see a gallery without you talking, so... I mean, if I wanted to see gameplay, I also would like you to not talk. I think, oh, what is their name? I think the only one I've ever watched that was not like that was this lady called... What's her name? I forget her name. Like... I think it starts with a P. But, yeah, there's this lady who does, like, reviews. That's kind of like the only kind of situation you want to have someone's voice be heard. Is good microphone, and please, for the love of God, at least sound like a hot chick, you know? Sometimes guys can work, like, Yippee-ki-yay Mr. Falcon, but he does reviews and gameplay. He's pretty good at it. I do like the Birdman. His voice is pretty nice. But he also doesn't talk the entire time. Great. He's also on YouTube, but what he does to to not get in trouble is he completely goes over the situations without saying exactly what is happening. And he also makes sure to like cut out a lot of the parts. Because you know, if you're gonna be playing one of those games where you have clothing damage, he cannot display what happens when you get hit. think Ghosts and Goblins except for hot. Something like that. Hey, where is everybody? Wait, did everybody leave? But everybody left.
Distracted by your attack, and I am able to siphon valuable
Oh,
souls
that's
from
interesting.
their strongholds. They will never see this fish coming. So when you are ready to return, the sanctum is waiting for you.
I kind of wanted to have somebody with me, but I'll just go to this for a little bit, just because. Oh, they actually left. That's interesting. Do I have my mic on? That's like my biggest fear is having my mic on. Let's see, I actually need to check that. I actually need to check it, just because it's actually bothering me now. Let's see. It's straight up bothering me, so I have to check. Now it's talking about some weird shit.
Life support remaining.
You exist to strike. You strike to win. The lesson ends.
I don't know if my mic is on. I'm gonna have to check.
Tenno, our work goes off.
Audio, I think. Yeah, I don't have voice enabled. Meow. There we go. I don't have voice enabled. Yeah, I figured it out. It's just people leaving because they didn't like the situation. Am I still in the Steel Path though?
I was thinking, maybe we can.
Steel Pass. Survival. Oh, there we go. What's a nice? Maybe it was just too hard for them. I can understand that. I've had that situation before. What's a good example that's like understandable, that's like a now sort of situation? Oh, I know. The 60 eyes. The 60 eyes was too hard for me, I believe. Oh, did I just get knocked sideways? Also, I'm playing with a Midas, so he needs to get his stomp, so I have to be careful what I'm shooting at. Well, we're about to see how good this is. Oh my god! Okay. Good to know your ruddy is kind of OP when you really get it going. Ooh. You guys got long range. Also, Nidus was helping. He made my bubbles stronger. Fucking rocked that dude.
Looks like you could use a bit of life support.
Oh. What is that? Is he attacked by somebody? Or is that? I got you, homeboy! I'm so glad this guy's helping me out. I kind of sort of needed some sort of positivity. I still am very convinced that the mic is actually left though. I think that might be what's happening. It's happened to me before.
Tick-tock. Time and oxygen are running out.
Anyway, sorry, he was asking if what I feel about this
Like a
thing.
fish back in water, but with air. They are so distracted by your attack that I am able to siphon valuables from their strongholds. They will never see this fish coming. When you are ready to return, the sanctum is waiting for you.
Oh my god! Hello, sir. Word for word what we suggested in forums. That's actually true, by the way. I remember I suggested it in a forums post, and then I saw more forums posts suggesting the same thing, right? And one of them actually had that logic I was going with when I was explaining it earlier. Some people just don't like the board, and in actuality, there's actually a lot more people that like her than you would think. I think like my example was look at how many people do artwork of her, and so it's like if you're making that much artwork of her, then it's gotta be something that people actually like. Because who spends hours on something that they don't accept, right? I think some people can do vent art, but in most cases, vent art is usually super not good. I know some people are doing vent art over comparing her to like other waifus, saying that she like I guess like had a small dick or something. But it was also like kind of shitty artwork. I mean, it obviously looked like they didn't even have to spend that much time on the artwork. And you don't spend hours, and I guess like that one looked like, at least on her part, that there wasn't even more than an hour spent on it, so yeah. Because when it comes down to it, like I said, you don't spend hours on something you don't accept, because why would you? That's actually a huge thing. I think like there's a lot of Power World vent art too. And I'd say Power World is a good example. When you have a lot of vent art about Pokemon being better than Power World. And yeah, unfortunately, a lot of that vent art is really bad. But a lot of the stuff that tries to say I like Pokemon and Power World, like Salazzle X Lavander. Yeah, they're usually super high quality. That's how you know the person actually does like both, you know? I see a lot of like, a lot of people venting about the Power World situation, and it's like, in most cases, it's just like really shitty artwork. In other cases, it's usually just a doodle, which is different from artwork. It's just a doodle. Usually with like pretty, like, I don't know if anybody's ever done vent art before. Like, if I were to like ask them, like if anybody who would be in my comments or something. But vent art is basically where you spend a lot of time venting using an artistic expression, kind of like punching clay into, or making a monstrosity with clay that represents something. But it's basically like just you venting. In a lot of cases, it's just like a weird doodle that has like a story behind it, but the story is only something that the person would understand, you know? What are those thoughts on your ready augment coming soon? Okay. I love it. Because it's exactly what me and a bunch of other Urani mains were saying we wanted. Word for word, by the way. Just turning Maradona into a pet that fires the one that also keeps the damage reduction. Because in most cases, people who like Urani just don't like the board. So in order to remedy that, it would be a good idea to have it to where the board is a pet that fires the one. So you can stay to her weapon platform gameplay while also having like it still being a lazy tank, you know? So this is literally what we wanted. There's a lot of Urani mains in the forums who are suggesting that exact augment. I was actually one of them. I was actually one of the first. I was one of the first to suggest that exact word for word line. Now you can subsume over her 1 instead of her 2 and keep the damage reduction, and you don't have to have anything on the 1. In fact, I had a build that I was creating that was, I think it was somewhat of a melee build, where you run around with a high-powered secondary that also had Encumber on it. And when an Acolyte comes, you use the 1, and you end up doing Wrathful Advance, I believe it's called. And you can basically take advantage of the meta secondary primer while also being a secondary killer at the same time. Which is hard to get... It's hard to, like, show people what I'm talking about, because a lot of people think primers don't kill. But essentially, you're going to go with a primer that kills until you meet something that requires the melee attack. And then you're going to use Wrathful Advance for it. That's the build I came up with, and I kind of sort of wanted to share it. I don't know. I was actually wondering what other people's thoughts were on it. I'm not sure if you played Already as much, but I was wondering what your thoughts were on it. Because, that's my thoughts, basically. I have a full-on build for it, ready to rock. I have requested exactly this, and yeah, I think they're doing a good job with Already so far. After they started putting actual effort into her, so I'm really glad they're actually doing that. But like I've been saying as well, there's a list of 5 warframes that are currently on the currently being set up for redos, basically revamping and edits and stuff. And Already is one of them, but she was like number 5. So there's a chance it's gonna be later this year or early next year. But there's 5 frames that were set for getting stuff. For me, it's just being not restricted to secondary while getting the damage reduction is perfect. Yes. I think one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of people don't know how to build a secondary, and I definitely get it. You still have the one, which will be spammed over and over again, which is very nice. But in a lot of cases, people don't know how to build a secondary, which is why they're always shocked that the secondary is capable of killing every single time they see me use it. So I do get that the wanting to use a primary is something that people want to do. I think definitely it's good for whoever uses it, because it's exactly what people want from your brother. I think somebody was saying that what they would like for a what's it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. An update, basically. Damn, I'm blanking on what it's called. It's called a revamp? No. A buff, I guess? I mean, the most of the secondaries are stronger than my primaries, though, but using everything with a build out evenly. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I noticed about secondaries, is if you know how to build them, they usually tend to be stronger than primaries. For one, a lot of them are tapes made for, like, direct damage, and that's what you need for acolytes, right? Because a lot of the time, the acolytes can't take statics, so that's unfortunately a reality you have to deal with. The secondaries deal with that reality pretty easily, actually. Which a lot of people don't really realize until they figure it out. They either have to be shown by somebody, or they need to be like... They need to figure out on their own as well. Because I know that in some cases, like... So in some cases, people can't figure it out on their own, but in some cases, that's the only thing that they need. Because they'll say that it can't happen so often that they just believe it no matter what. But when they finally get challenged to do it, like, you know, how gamers respond to challenges, then most of the time, they actually figure out, oh my god, secondaries are actually pretty powerful. I've seen that a lot. I've actually had that happen to a few friends of mine. They see me play Irale, right? And they're like, how do you do that? And I'm like, secondaries are more powerful than you think. And they're like, nah. And I said, I guess like my specific mind stems from like how challenging works. And I usually go, oh, maybe it's just because you can't find the effort to do it. And then they're like, bet, I will do it right now, and see if I can make it better than yours. And they do sometimes, but once they actually get to a point where they do make them powerful, they're like, oh my god, secondaries, yes. It's really strange how DE expected us to have these as like, when you run out of ammo, you go and bring out your secondary. But they have kind of sort of turned into the most powerful acolyte players. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, they build better, right? So essentially, it's you call the fact that they don't have the effort to a gamer, and they will put in the effort most times, as long as you're like, if you say it the right way. Or like you literally just say it out loud. I have a challenge for you, one that I'm pretty sure you won't be able to do, but we'll see. You know, you leave it open. You leave it open, but you slow it down, and then you say, I want you to make a secondary more powerful enough to 3-shot an acolyte, right? And so they'll usually grab a hold of a secondary, right? They'll look up the information, find out that there's no information, and realize, oh my god, I have to figure it out on my own. They'll sometimes ask for tips and tricks, and I'll give them the tips and tricks. And they'll come out with a secondary that they absolutely fucking adore. This has happened several times. Just have to appeal to the challenger in the gamer. Give them a challenge, like, can you do better? And then you always say, without making it too harsh, a slight bit of doubt. Just a tiny bit of doubt, not too hard, depending on the person, but basically you just say that you kind of start doubt. It's probably an inherent thought process from other games that makes everyone automatically think primaries are way stronger. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I guess it's like whenever it's a small gun, they assume it's not powerful. But here's the thing: look at the arc gun and tell me that's more powerful than a regular gun, right? My secondaries in most cases are more powerful than arc guns. And arc guns are supposed to be capable of taking out things that we are not able to take out, right? So what is up with that, you know? If arc guns were powerful, as they say they are in the lore, then they would be capable of being more powerful than secondaries, which in most cases they are not. I think the only one that tends to be stronger than secondaries would be the Mausolon with the secondary fire. Even then, that is the secondary fire. They buff arc guns when Whisper is dropped up, but it's barely noticeable, yeah. Some of them got a 100% boost in all their stats, and still they're not good enough. And that's kind of lame. I guess a nicer way to say it is it's a little bit disappointing because they are something that we work towards for a long time and have to spend a lot of resources on. But unlike secondaries, where the resources you spend on it create a really powerful weapon, they create a really weak weapon, and that's unfortunate. They do feel powerful, and secondaries usually feel not very powerful because they're very, like, they feel very, like, laid back in the power it has. But I guess it's the feeling of having a giant gun is probably a lot better than the feeling of having a small pistol. I guess it's like the feeling of it, right? But if you look at the numbers, secondaries tend to be more powerful than primaries. Quite often, actually. I think I have a dry mouth. I might have to deal with that. This Nidus is pretty good. He manages to He manages to dish out damage like nobody's business. I'm probably gonna start putting Formal into your ready literally just because of the upcoming augment. Once I'm done tweaking my Ibarra build, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Once you get to a point where you can fit that augment, I would suggest investing in secondaries to do that, but also getting a good melee. Getting a good melee and secondary together is really good. I think a melee that's really good for like taking out a target you can't take out with a secondary is a good idea. Or you can go with a full loadout, which I know a lot of people like to go with the full loadouts. But with your rally, primaries are probably not as effective, but it's definitely up to you. Because, you know, it would be your game. Which, yeah. I think I keep forgetting to say that in my latest videos because I've been having problems. But essentially, what you call? If you manage to find a playstyle that you like, it's definitely a good idea to leave room to build your playstyle over a build by learning what makes the build tick and then just applying it to your playstyle, you know? I know my playstyle is usually just lazy tank, but lazy tank isn't as effective against everything. Like the 60 eyes is a good example of this. And violence too. Violence can take out your tankiness, which is unfortunate. Which I really hate. Whew. See, the Atomos is like a good weapon. You just kind of sort of have to manipulate it the proper way. With your rally, it's like super OP, but like with the fully maxed out sharded Ureli, like that is like really great. I've been a full loadout guy for a while. It's kind of stemmed from when I wanted to juice every once in a while. Damage core recall, yeah. Every ounce of damage out of core recall, yeah. Oops, let me. Whew. I almost killed those guys.
Your hard work is really paying off.
I actually had to lift my fingers from my mouse when I saw that. I caught it so quick. Okay, let's see. I'm hoping that he has enough stonks because I think I might have lowered the amount of stonks he got by killing something in his ball. I love playing with Niduses because it gets me focused throughout the whole mission. I think I really like it when a frame manages to catch my attention onto the game a lot. I think that's why I really like Ureli's board, is it gets my attention into the game. Because a lot of the time when I'm playing other frames, they're usually these like like they don't grab my attention like this does. And I think that's like kind of important when it comes to me, at least. Because it's like I'm in the middle of like doing something, but I daydream because it's a little bit boring. Not boring, but like it doesn't like have me constantly trying to change my direction and stuff. That's the huge reason why I like Ureli, is that she constantly gets my attention on the game. Like if I fuck up the boards like stuff, I tend to like not pay attention to what's happening and I end up losing. Basically forcing me to pay attention to what's happening is exactly why I like to do it. So I think that's why in Elden Ring I played a dodge playstyle rather than a parry playstyle. I know parry is usually important, but like in most cases, when I'm waiting for the monster to attack me, I'm not paying attention when it actually does. Also, I want to use that primary frostbite a lot more since I just bring Dirgia or Epitaph or both instead of my primary. Yeah, that makes sense. In most cases, I build a primary, or yeah, a primary to be capable of handling itself. But that's why I don't like Hunter Munitions, is because it kind of sort of makes it to where I can't put enough power onto the weapon to take out an Acolyte. Because I have a mod that can put power onto it. And I just can't put it on because I put Hunter Munitions instead. I'm pretty sure he's gotten like at least like most of the, at least as much damage as I got, because he's doing a lot of damage to the Acolytes. I don't know if it, I don't think it's purely me. I understand people saying Frostbite statistically has damage and using Inspiration plus Merciless, but assuming you don't want to put additional build investment. Yeah, that makes sense. Frostbite is actually pretty good. I've tried using Frostbite, but it's actually really good most of the time. I know Epitaph can force Cold Frost, so it usually is pretty good. So you can put Viral and Cold on your Epitaph, and Viral and Cold on your Epitaph could be really good. I think the one thing is that when you do the mathematically more powerful thing, a lot of the times it has the weakness of you have to keep it up. And in most cases, primary weapons, at least like the single target ones, don't necessarily have the power to have single target keep Merciless up all the time. And that's what I run into a lot, and that's why I don't use Merciless. Merciless has this weird thing, it's like, I kind of sort of just don't like it, you know? It's actually quite difficult to have it up all the time. And technically I do know that you're supposed to fight the smaller things and then the bigger things, but I do that. I still can't keep it up as well. And usually because of the fact that I'm using a weapon that isn't very good. But I want to use it, that's the thing. I know how status works, and I know that it's the, oh, whoa. Where is he? Oh, there he is. I was wondering where this fucker was. I think I like the cold mods a lot, because one of them is literally what Viral is, which is funny. Alongside the buffs to cold, so that stuff is hilarious. And I noticed that the cold damage seems to be based on your modded cold damage, at least for my tests. So I think if you were to go with a cold build, it wouldn't be too bad. you just have to use the arcane, and I've actually used the arcane against acolytes, and it's actually super effective, especially if you go with corrosive and cold. Oh, that's an acolyte killer. At least a single target one.
You are out of options. Retreat to the sanctum.
Oh, we gotta go over here. Oh, hello. He kind of sort of existed for a little bit. Okay, let's go over here. Oh. I think he's using a killer primer with melee. That's why he's firing his weapon a lot. But when it gets down and dirty, he uses his melee. I do respect the guy who can use a primer to actually kill. That actually tends to be quite. What is the word? I think alluring is what the word is. I do like seeing that. GG.
Tick-tock.
Sorry.
Time and oxygen are running out. Sending another capsule. Is no ground treaty.
It is done.
I'm popping some bones, sorry. I hope it's not too loud. That was my back. Oh, shit. Ugh.
A well-oiled machine is truly a thing of beauty.
Word for word, what we wanted in the, I guess, technically small Jaredi community. Well, actually, it's a lot bigger than you would think, because once the mission got fixed, it became more possible for a lot of people to use, and I've been seeing a lot of Jaredis. And it's gotten even bigger because a lot of people just didn't like the board. And I even heard from a few comment sections that people were now building one just because they wanted to augment.
Another day, another Metrocell.
And a lot of my videos are getting a lot more views too. Which is nice. Which means there is a market for her. I think my Jaredi videos have like 3,000 views or something, which is not much compared to like the higher ups, but it is a lot for the average. The average newer YouTuber is getting around like 900 at the most, but my videos have been getting a little bit more popular because I think I might have hit the algorithm. The problem is, I've been running into a lot of, like, trolls. And here's the thing, is, like, I didn't change anything, necessarily. I think that's, like, the big thing. I didn't change anything. But the thing is, like, I also wanted to make my video a little bit shorter. So there wasn't a demonstration of the weapon. So I think that might have also contributed to it. But, like, there also was, like, a lot of likes. So I'm assuming the audience I usually have as my target audience does enjoy it. But, like, there's a lot of people who tend to be trolly. So I have a lot of trolls on my thing. They're, like, rather than us saying, it's, like, they're basically commenting, like, what would be the term for it? Like, backhanded comments? No, the backhanded comments would be, like, if they were commenting you, but also slipped in an insult. It's not even slipping in an insult to a comment, it's just, like... just people kind of started being dickish. Which is... I'm not used to that. So I'm still having a little bit of issues like adjusting to it, you know? I will, however, see if I can get a Pal World video out on Sunday. I decided to add Sunday to the mix. Actually, no, I actually was planning on adding it to Friday. But unfortunately, I just get super fucking tired on Friday. Plus, it's the end of the month, so I was struggling with food a little bit. I managed to get a hold of food, though. I'm fed. I managed to get food. It was very nice. That's like my greatest enemy. Food. It's great, but struggling with it constantly is not great. A lot of my videos will fall in quality if I don't get fed properly. So I usually have to make sure I have food before I make a video. But in some cases, like today, the only drink I have is from the store I ordered from. Because I could drink water, but whenever I whenever I eat, I have to drink per bite because my taste buds are sensitive. So in order to get not nauseous, I have to have a drink with my food. But I don't have a proper drink. I need to figure that out. I think on Tuesday I'll see if on Monday I'll see if I can go shopping for drinks. It's probably extremely important. Let's see. Let's go. I'm not sure. No, I don't want to make modifications to this. I want to do a different weapon. I kind of want to play with the dual toxicist, but I kind of want to play with other things as well. Oh, I know. The Brack. Not the Seer. The Brack. Where'd it go? Oh, this is shorting my rank. I did not know that. Brack. Let's see. Do I want Lethal Torrent here? Do I want something else? I know Flare replaces the damage mod, but I'm not sure if I can put like any other damage mods. I think I'll just keep it like this. I think this is fine. Alright, some Steel Pass. Because I really enjoy it. Oh! I apparently have not touched this in a while. Okay. Let's go with... Let's go mod. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's this about... Actually, wait, hold on a minute. Let me check something. It's a missile survival. Survival and Axie? Pluto. It's Corpus. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Do I have any Axie relics? I have one. Never mind. Let's see. No, let's just do mod. Mod. And if I remember correctly, I needed the steel essence for something. I think I needed it for some testing stuff. Boing. Oh, cool. These look like people who wouldn't care that I'm using
They're
erotic.
trying to choke you out. Hold on.
Although I am
I'm sending
concerned
auxiliary life
for
support.
the Octavia slightly, but they aren't like a high-ranking Octavia, so I'm assuming they're not a meta nerd. It's good that we end up getting the good thing too. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're definitely. I'm trying to like go invisible, but apparently you don't have that one open. I don't know. But you can go invincible as Maradona. Are they?
Life support incoming.
I think Lazar made a video of like the only time you ever want to use flare, and I never watched it, but I'm not exactly sure like what would be considered the only time you use it, because I use it like on high fire rate weapons as well as like AoE weapons.
Capsule to the area. Will buy you more time.
Or like a shotgun, right? So I'm not exactly sure what he would say is the only time you want to use flare. But from the last time I seen one of his videos, he doesn't have flare. I was looking at his arcanes and seeing if he had flare, just because I was curious. And when he showed the part where he put an arcane, he didn't even have flare. And I'm like, which I thought was weird. Because I don't know. I think it's been a while though. It's been a long time since I saw that. So I'm assuming he has it now. But he didn't have flare ever since it came out for the longest time. I think it was like. When was the last time I saw a fucking Lazar video? I don't know actually, because like.
Get ready for a capsule.
Last time I saw it, he was like. He didn't have flare, but I don't know when that was. That was a long time ago, though. I eventually got, like, tired of how negative he was all the time. So I stopped watching his videos. Because, like, oh, what is this? Where'd he go? Oh.
Additional life support has arrived.
What are you doing? What do you want? What do you want, fool? He wants something from me. Oh, sorry. I thought that was an enemy, legitimately. Oops. Got him. There we go. Let's go here. I gotcha. I think the one thing I should probably see if I can work on is storytelling. Yeah. There'll be stories that are not like complaining about something. Yeah. I think the one thing is that I'm always led into it by some circumstance. Yeah. Okay, where are these people? They're all like spread out. I'm gonna go to these people. There's more of them here. Oh god. Dante writings Garuda's lore because he forgot to do so. Yeah. They literally decided to go with waifu found in garbage can. And then leave it at that. Because like, That's kind of like what what's her face decided to like say as that's basically what it said when you get the Garuda augment. She's like, I found this in a bin. Here, you can have it. And I'm like, that's like the most dumpster waifu like reference I've ever seen. I mean, she was found in a dumpster and then turned into a blueprint by Little Dog. That's like true trash waifu. But I know a lot of people like her, so it's very unfortunate that Garuda just has no lore. Like Hildren too, but Hildren is kind of like, I think Hildren can be found. Her lore can be found somewhere, but I don't know where. But I know Garuda has none. Shotguns, yeah. Like shotguns. Handheld shotguns are funny. That's like, they're hilarious.
We are up and ready to party.
Party, party, party. Got to have a party. Ugh. One of the things I probably don't like about this area is these things. These popping up covers. I am not a fan of that. What do you need popping up cover for? It kind of sort of just blocks the way. That's like the thing that I've run into a lot. Whoa. We're in Mott, right? Where are the nullifiers? I don't think I've run into a nullifier yet. Or Vor. Vor is not here either. Where is this
Life
Argon
support
crystal?
has been replenished.
Argon crystal, yeah. And boy. Oh, for some reason, the chat on Restream didn't pop up. I wonder if I have to like redo it. That happens sometimes. I'm not sure why. I missed both those shots so hard. That was like unfortunate. $15,000 for a shot, nice. That's on a shield still. It doesn't necessarily count. There we go. Lean dead. Yeah, no. 5K endo per minute. Oh! I think he's talking about the, I don't know what he's talking about, actually. He's talking about
We will all
something.
share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
You bitch! Yeah. Oh, he's dead. Oh, never mind. Octavia. There we go. Before PvP boss stuff and stuff, yeah. Yeah. Before creepy pasta, copy pasta. I think they decided to do that because it was getting annoying. It's funny though. It's funny until it's annoying. I think that's like the best way to say it. Someone's down. Oh, it's a cat. Never mind. It's a cat, guys. Oh, there's a player now. Oh my god. Sir player. You got revived. When are you ready, sir? He's also like one of the higher ranking players here, so that's unfortunate. He's a Baroque. Why is it always a Baroque? Dude, I swear to God, I'll turn you into a meme. Oh. Why is it always the Baroque? Oh my god. Is Baroque the new... Is Baroque the new Wukong? I hope not. My man. Although he's not a Legendary 3, so it's not entirely accurate of a meme. Because usually it's a high-ranking player. Then again, he's the second highest ranking player here, so there's that. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what it is. Let's see. Ah! Oh, that's the wrong thing. I was about to go pick that up, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this burning wasp right here. Do we have to mark resources? Okay, no way. I thought we had a night wave for marking resources, but apparently we do not. Someone's got the assault truck. What is my life? Oh.
Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not
I
do
bubbled
this
him.
without you.
You usually not use a companion? To be completely honest, I keep forgetting to put one. Okay. And actually, I barely ever use a companion. And it's basically because, for one, I keep forgetting to put it on, and for two, I kind of sort of like to have my frame do the work. If that makes any sense. So I like to have my weapons and my frame be capable on its own without a companion. And the only companion I actually do usually use is the Nautilus. Because the Nautilus now can continuously pull things into you, which is really good if I want to take things seriously. But because I'm usually playing really casually, I don't need it, essentially. I guess it's like technically making it harder on myself because I just enjoy it. Because I having a drone constantly suck people in is really powerful. I just prefer not to have one. Yeah. I think I usually have one because if I were to take it seriously, but right now I'm not. I think that's like the biggest like thing to take from that. And whenever I am taking it seriously, I usually forget he's there. He isn't there. But I usually bring Nautilus. The Nautilus is my favorite. I don't know why, but YouTube seems to have this thing where people are there, but it counts down slowly until it reaches 1. And then as soon as somebody like says something, it tends to come back up, but this time it's not exactly happening. The thing is that I know people are still here, but like, it's at 1 as if I'm the only one here, which is very strange. I think YouTube has this weird thing where streaming is kind of like inconsistent. Someone said, oh, it's like you gotta have it like as the open thing. In some cases, people are listening rather than actually watching. So I think like YouTube forgot about that. Because if you're watching, you're usually paying attention to what's happening, but a lot of the time they're just using it as background noise for whatever they're doing, right?
Life support activated.
Yeah, like the ones who pop in and stuff. It's not to like call them out or anything, it's more like it's this interesting thing that I was looking at. Because I know damn well there's people here. I think, let me try something. Let me try this. Yeah, see, it didn't go up. So I'm assuming that YouTube's little bot is broken. I've actually saw that with other bigger people too. There were like hundreds of viewers. I know not hundreds, but there are thousands of viewers. but it showed like hundreds, right? And there's the same reason is that they were just using it as background noise, but right now it's for some reason it's just being weird. I know you guys are there. One thing that I noticed as well is Twitch doesn't necessarily do that, but it does like not count them as there technically if they don't say anything, which is unfortunate. But I know, like, whenever I look at Twitch, I know people are there.
Fight, the more successful we will be.
It's such a weird thing. Because I guess people forgot, I guess like the companies forgot what streaming is usually used for, which is background noise when you're doing something else. That's kind of like a kind of a fact of streaming. Sorry. I thought that was an Eximus. It was a dude. This is how you play with the Zephyr. Oi! You gotta shoot the Zephyr's tornadoes. That's what you gotta do. In fact, I actually wanted to mention one thing is sometimes I'll go on some really fucked up rants. I'll say some fucked up shit. But, sometimes I know damn well someone's listening. Because, I don't know, it's just like a weird feeling that you have as someone who deals with streaming a lot. Some of my weird rants are some of these things that a lot of bigger creators would get in trouble for. Because I'll speak my mind about shit. I try to filter it though. Like, I guess like one that you'd probably get cancelled for is the fact that I make adult animations. You technically could get cancelled for that. Like, ew, you make animations, that's gross. And I'm like, I use adults. I use the Drifter, who's canonically like 24 or something like that. Well, at least their body is. Their body is 24. But they're like old. They're hella old. Hundreds of years. Because the operator was asleep for hundreds of years, right? But the Drifter was in the void for that amount of time, right? And apparently, Kuderbo's story is actually a locked up memory of the Drifter's story. Which, there is a chance that that could mean that the Drifter killed their Lotus, which is how they even know who the Lotus is. That's scary, actually. So they left during a very bad battle and escaped to the void, came back to take revenge for the Lotus, and end up killing the Lotus on accident. Which is, that's unfortunate. And then they locked that memory into a Warframe, which is interesting. They locked that memory into Warframe and I guess like punish the Warframe for their misdeeds. But that's why, according to lore, Kuderbo is the Drifter's Warframe. Because it's literally them taking in the part of them that they don't accept, which is interesting. They can't accept the fact that they killed the Lotus. so they have to see it as a warframe instead, as a monster. But the thing is like all of the Warframe's lore, it's not set in stone exactly what is happening. So that's just speculation, like most Warframe lore is. A lot of the time, like, Warframe lore is just so not set in stone that you can have a lot of people believing different things from seeing the same shit. Like how Warframe basically says you lose your Warframe all the time, and the what you call it? I kind of at a phase Warframe where right now where I get in the game, answer questions in QA chat for 2 hours and get off. Yeah, I was like that for a bit too. You know what? You know what actually helps with that? To be completely honest, taking a break and playing something else for a short amount of time. Like legitimately, it's probably just time for a break. That's what I learned. It's usually that it's not that you don't like the game anymore. It's just it's time for a vacation. I would suggest Power World actually. In fact, if you manage to get in good with the rest of the crew too, we could probably get you into like the main server. If you want, you could probably be part of my clan. Guild? Is it guild or is it clan? I forget. But I have a Power World server. I actually would definitely suggest Power World because it's just similar enough to feel comfortable for you using, and just different enough to be a completely different experience. But whenever you're stuck on question and answers chat and just answering questions, that's how you know it's time for a break. And who knows, that break could be like a few weeks to only a few days, which I've actually had my breaks last for a month or two. Yeah. I think,
Life support has been replenished.
what is that? What do you want? What do you want? There we go. Apparently I cannot make status effects anymore on Zephyr's tornadoes. I think that's what they fixed with Zephyr's tornadoes is the status effects. I can't make status effects with Zephyr's tornadoes anymore. I used to be able to. I remember electricity damage was part of the patch notes. What is he doing? What are you doing, sir? What do you want? What do you want, fool? Oh, he wants me to get Aragon crystals. Been playing other games a lot more ways. I'm still in this phase. I guess maybe I have no goals in Warframe right now. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Like, a lot of people play games in order to have a goal to complete. I'm pretty sure you just run out of goals. A good way to do it is exactly what the Helldivers people said. It's okay to go play something else until you have something that you want to play. So basically, like, just see if you can, like, go play something else. And then you should be able to, come back when there's actually some, no, actually, that wasn't Helldivers, that was the Power World people. As soon as something comes, like enough content comes out that you want to play it again, then probably want to come back. The break usually lasts until you have something you want to do, right? Because, yeah. Another thing is this. Whenever you're taking a break on the game, don't just play other games and then play Warframe. It's probably a good idea to not touch any, Warframe for a while, you know? No, I guess like you can watch content as well, because content isn't as bad. But like, don't turn it on for a while and see how you feel about it. That's usually how a break actually goes. Because if you are tired of the game, then that's definitely fine. But that's probably the type of break you want to take. I know that now I think about it, a goal could be wood getting more Forma blueprints, but I don't really want to do fishes in the moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you.
Very good.
I think one thing that I know, which is kind of hard for a lot of people, is playing a game to play the game. I think that's like something that you don't see very often anymore. Because legitimately, when I play the game, I just want to play. This experience, it's not experiencing something new. It's more like I just find the gameplay fun enough just to continue playing. For a lot of people, they have to complete a goal. So one thing they could probably do is probably put it away until the next update. I know a lot of people will spend years not playing the game, but still like watching content. In that case, it's usually a good idea to keep an eye on it and see if you'll find something that you want to spend some time on. So basically, like, play other games, but like not play Warframe. You know, like don't hop on and communicate with anybody. Just like put it away, probably even like delete it, and wait until there's something good that you want to farm, and stuff. Your Ready's Augment is coming out, but I think you should wait even further beyond that, because your Ready's Augment is probably just gonna be with Cephalon Suda. Yeah, Minecraft YouTubers are a different breed, especially those guys. That guy, Toy Cat. Yeah, I think that's probably like a good example. Is that Minecraft YouTubers? Yeah, Minecraft YouTubers, they have this weird thing where playing the game just to play the game, which kind of sort of doesn't have anything in it, is, yeah, they're a different kind of breed. When it comes to Warframe, it's always a bunch of people who want to teach people stuff. But it's mostly because, like, most content creators in Warframe are stuck in a situation where fun things isn't exactly welcome. I don't, actually, I'm running into that with one of my videos. It's like, whenever you try to do something funny or cute or something like that, that's supposed to be entertaining and have nothing really, like, serious about it, as well as, like, some teaching to, like, catch their attention and then teach them something, they don't like it. Well, here's the thing, is that it's not entirely true, because I have a lot of fucking likes on that video. It's just, oh my god, if the people who don't like it really don't fucking like it. But strangely enough, it's one of my more popular videos. Lots of likes. Lots of people watching it for a longer time than usual. Weirdly enough, there's actually a bunch of people defending me. And I'm like, oh my god. I actually started a fight on accident, which is like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Actually, I do know how I feel about that. It kind of sucks. There's people fighting on a video, and I'm like, guys, stop. Warframe mod configs too. You could use the one mod different from a standard, and it'll be at your throat for it. Yeah. You know what? I'm probably sure. Okay, check this out. So this is the build I showed them, right? And here, this is probably like for me, it's a throwaway line. But here's what I said. I wanted to, okay, what was the quote? The quote was, I wanted to put something besides hunter munitions because I wanted to take out acolytes because hunter munitions, what's it called? Is really good against fodder, but does not excel at taking out acolytes. And I think that might have pissed somebody off, a lot of people off, because I said straight up I'm not going to be using hunter munitions, right? So I think that actually ended up making a lot of people mad. And somebody was like, somebody actually said, why not use heat instead of, heat instead of serration? And I would agree if it wasn't for the fact that acolytes are a different kind of monster when it comes to having to take them down. So serration is kind of necessary. But I don't think they were like dissing the build. I think they were just like, I prefer this. So that's how I took it. But like a lot of them are like, I think one of the things stems from that, because I'm not a fan of hunter munitions, and people really don't like the fact that I'm not a fan of hunter munitions. Here's the thing. I think it completely stems from the fact that I don't like hunter munitions. Every single fucking time I talk about hunter munitions, I get flack for it. So I think legitimately, talking about hunter munitions is a no-go. Like, legitimately, it's a very bad idea to talk about hunter munitions. Especially since I don't like it, right? And that's probably where I fuck up the most. Because this build is super effective. It's really good against acolytes. But oh my god, if people don't have the worst interpretation of those words when it comes to me talking about hunter munitions. It's very concerning how, I think I mentioned this word before, but very passionate people are. That's like the nice way of saying it, right? The rude way of saying it, which is much more accurate, is sensitive. Because people who like hunter munitions are, every single time you diss it, or not even diss it, but like say that you're not going to use it, they get so fucking sensitive. They get so mad. And it's like, why are you mad? It's a single mod. And that's like a thing. It got me to a point where I kind of sort of didn't want to make a video today. And because of the severity of the mental health issue, I'm not going to. I have Hunter Mumu Airlock in config A, but config B is Acolyte Killer, similar to yours, yeah. An Acolyte Killer cannot use Hunter Munitions. Well, in most cases. But an AoE can usually do it because it just does that much damage. But in most cases, which is usually not AoE, Hunter Munitions is a bad idea. That's where I was kind of sort of going with that. It was like as logical as I can make it. Which is why I think the anger with hunter munitions is sort of like not stemmed in logic. It's a kind of like primal hatred of people who don't like hunter munitions, which is scary. Because having to deal with that is like, it's kind of a new situation, and I know damn well exactly what it is. And that's like the huge thing. What was I thinking with this? I just looked at this and I'm like, what was I thinking? What is this? Maybe there's a reason I did this. What's the status like when I do this? Oh, the status is bad. I was cooking something. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it was. I think the Prisma lens comes with a D polarity though. So I don't think it was a D polarity. It might have been a V polarity or line polarity. For me, seeing more people know that they that are the opposite. They hate anyone who uses hunter munition if your weapon is kind of needs it. Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I've noticed. It's kind of swings both ways. That's like how I interpret it. There's people who hate hunter munitions who will like anything that is dissing hunter munitions. And then you have the other half of the coin, which is people who will hate you for it, right? Because here's the thing. Remember my video about dissing hunter munitions? I had a lot of likes on that, but everybody who was liking it was very silent, like it is with this newest video. Everybody who was liking it, and keep in mind, there was a lot of people who were liking it, they were silent. But like, I guess it's because they know how unreasonable the people who like hunter munitions is. I think that's like the thing. Because like, I've never seen such angry people until I made that video. And now it seems to be a regular thing. Every single time I say something about hunter munitions, I get a lot of dislikes. Yeah. Wait, what did I have here? Oh, I had a status mod. I kind of want to put 2 status mods rather than whatever the hell this is. I have a Bane mod. The fuck? I think I had a Bane mod because it was supposed to be a status weapon. Okay, so status is like 30, so that's good. I'll take that off. What did I do to? Oh, no, let me just like straight up redo it. I'm gonna try and figure something out. So, if I'm going with hunter munitions, I would like to have viral, right? I'm actually thinking something different though. That's the thing. My brain says this, right? So we go with corrosive and cold. With sorry. Hunter munitions. And then we go with chamber. The reason why is like usual, I just want to take out acolytes. What is this gonna be though? Could it be this? I guess so. Like for more damage, but no. Let's really take that off because I don't think I need it. Oh, actually here. This right here. Hammer shot. Okay, let me see what else. I need crit mod. Crit delay. And I'm gonna fit a fire rate mod right here. But let's see what this can do in the simulacrum, and then we'll see if we can like take it somewhere else to see if it will do. Now the Prisma lens has this weird situation where people kind of don't like it because it has the delay. I think I'm okay with weapons with delays. It kind of sort of gets me to think about my shots rather than just saying I'm gonna shoot here. That's how I see it, but that's subjective.
You are a true hunter. Where would the sanctuary be without you?
I think I okay. So I think I see. I think I know one way to say it. People who like to talk, people who like to say their grievances on chats tend to be people who are kind of sort of like unreasonable. They're usually the 1% of the 20%. So like in most cases, that's why the most of the chat would be silent because they know better than to be talking to the other people. Okay, this is ass. I think it needs to be viral. Because it gets the crits, right? Maybe it's the crit damage. Maybe I need to put crit damage. Because for me, fire rate isn't that big of a deal. Oh, what? I thought it was oh yeah, it does have a built-in ammunition. That's good. I'm thinking of going with this. Honestly, some Warframe crowds would just get mad at confused base. Debate 70% of the time its damage difference isn't all that significant. Yeah, that makes sense. That is kind of like a thing I noticed, is that most of the time they're talking about like minor differences, which I can appreciate the I appreciate the passion. I will say that, but like I don't know. I guess like even though I can appreciate the passion, I don't appreciate the aggressiveness of it. Because passion and aggressiveness is kind of sort of different. I think this is worse. Yeah, I think this is worse actually. Oh, there's a slash proc. That's cool. That is like true as well. People with a lot of passion tend to not like to sway their words, right? They like to sway their opinion is what it is. And that's like the downside to having a lot of passion. It's subject to exactly what we were talking about, which was sensitivity. Passion can make you pretty sensitive to a topic. I think that's how I feel about like Ureti. Why I get so mad every single time somebody disses Ureti. Is I feel like it's a personal thing. Just because like I do like the frame a lot. But at least I try to make sure I'm reasonable. Cause I know Ureti isn't like the best frame. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna like attack somebody over it, you know? Okay, let me try this. I wonder if like having higher amounts of viral will help. Okay, it kind of sort of does actually. Got one. Yeah, that's actually like a good example. Is like, a lot of people think that something is really bad because it's not the best of the best, but like, usually the difference is like minor, you know. What it kind of sort of stems from is something that I've noticed a lot, which is a lot of people seem to like certain people, and so what they do is they follow their word to a T because like senpai said do this. That's kind of like a thing I noticed, is like it's really like the senpai thing. And like that's like kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie. On headshot. Let's see. Frostbite. This one is on code status effects. Oh yeah, this sure does. Speaking of this, Frostbite. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be okay. It's a guaranteed cold proc, right? Oh hey, there's some damage. Yeah, that's actually like the huge thing. As somebody who is like a smaller content creator, I know that the one thing that I heard was actually kind of true is whenever you have a large following, your opinion, at least to is more valuable because you have there's a lot of people who are agreeing to you, right? That's like the whole thing about being a content creator, right? And that also can mean like if you're not correct, there's gonna be a lot of people who will still believe you. And I've seen that a lot, where like a lot of people will not be completely incorrect, but there'll be a lot of people who believe it because the large creator said it, right? Like how, I guess like I can use Chroma as an example because Chroma is a huge example of that. Somebody literally did 2 abilities, I think, and were able to stand for, I believe, 5 minutes against level 200 Steel Path Heavy Gunners. And he was just standing there. And then what he did is, like, he one-shot a few of them, and the other ones died from status effects. And I'm like... And you basically said, that's some D-rank gameplay, that's some D-rank Warframe gameplay right there. And I was like, interesting. Because here's the thing, is like, I think I'm talking about like Brozyme, but Brozyme thinks that tier lists are not subjective. And almost every single tier list is completely subjective. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I'll roll that back and I'll go even harder. Every single tier list in the entire world is subjective to the person making the tier list. Because as somebody who has a very specific playstyle, you already would be an A or maybe even S ranking frame. Because of the playstyle that I have, right? And for some people's playstyles, it already does not have a very good, like, you know, standing, right? Because of the board. But for me, Yaretti is on the top. Just because, not because of what she looks like or what she is, but because of her gameplay. I just simp for her looks because of the fact that I enjoy her gameplay anyway. Like, I really like Valkyr, but I hate her gameplay, so I'm like, 50-50 with Valkyr. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go do some actual gameplay as well in a little bit. I think, I was told by somebody that this is considered, what you call, I forget what they called it, but like this is considered, fuck, what's it called? Like the AoE is not an actual AoE. That's what it is. Sorry, my brain exploded for a bit. But yeah, it's not considered an actual AoE. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that to the test. I see a lot of newer players and QA ask what is the best Warframe weapon for everything. I tell them none because it's always situational, but I guess they want with the best. Yeah. A lot of players want the best because they want it to be easy. Gotta keep in mind that a lot of people don't like challenge. So in most cases, they want what's easy, not what's best. That's kind of like the thing is like what they mean by best is they want easy. And that's like a hard thing to like bring yourself to like say, because a lot of the time, like, as somebody who probably has played for a while, you understand that like the best is subjective, but in a lot of cases, it's mostly because you kind of sort of misinterpret what they mean by that. And the way I figured out how to interpret it is literally, is it easy? So basically something you would want to suggest is probably something like Wukong or something. Or you would want to go hard and tell them straight up that straight up like the best would technically be what's easy. And so yeah. I mean at that point they could just have Revenant and disregard all damage at all times. Exactly. But that's basically like the thing that I see a lot is that they don't mean like who has the highest damage. They mean who is easy. And that's a sign of somebody who's kind of sort of somebody who's not going to stay here very long. They're probably going to speed run the game, get bored, and leave. But if you really want to hook somebody, you challenge them. And usually that stems from somebody who's been playing for a while and is bored. And what you do is you give them a challenge. And once they start challenging themselves in games, they start actually enjoying the game. But if you just speedrun a game, you're never going to enjoy it. I've never met a speedrunner who actually enjoyed games. Does that make any sense? Like, every single speedrunner I've ever met does not like games. They always complain. They're always mad about something. They're always toxic. Really competitive, but in a really not fun way. But, in my experience, it's probably not a good idea to kind of, like, interact with the people who speedrun games. I've actually interacted with a lot of people with speedrun games, and that's how I would know. Because every single time I did, they always tended to be like the people who would not be fun to be around, you know? I'm looking for one of my kit guns because I want to play with it. There it is. Is this the crit one? Yeah, I think this is the crit one. I like how when new activity with the March update was revealed in Death Stream, the majority of player chat was upset finding out not going to be easy. Yeah, this is gonna be endgame stuff, and it's Pablo appealing to the more... Okay, it sounds weird, but like, he's appealing to the true gamers. And here's the thing. The true gamers are the ones who usually stick with a game for a long time, which is the one you actually wanna appeal to, right? Because if you appeal to the people who have been sticking here for a long time, what ends up happening is they start saying nice things about the game, and the casual gamer who only goes off of like the opinions of other people will see that a lot of people have good opinions of this game and they'll go play it, right? That's like that's the business side of things, right? Plus, I mean, just look at me. I technically would be considered a casual gamer, and I got a steel path all the time. Would that be called hardcore casual? I think I'm considered a hardcore casual. Because I'll play the hard ranking games, but I'll do it in a way that is like very comfortable for me. But if I get Ureli as a challenge, I'm going to be going there and I'm going to be dumping all that shit onto Ureli. Right? I'm clicking all the modifiers. Like, fuck you levels, like, massive amounts of, Eximus, oh, what's another one? What was the other one? Fucking, what is the other one? I don't know what the other one is, but there's another one. But, like, level 350, I don't give a fuck. I'm taking my Ureti and we're going to rock. We're rocking. Now, Destiny 2 Year 1 was a failure, and they created so much short-term players that the game completely lost its identity to veteran players. Yeah. It's where you make a game that does not reward, Warframe is the game that rewards knowledge over skill. So if you manage to make it to where it reward the smart players, which this game is built to do, then you have a good update, right? And that's the thing is, like, you have to reward the smart players, not the skillful players, the smart ones. So if we manage to figure out what works, then yes. Some people would say, oh, 60 Eyes was skill-based, and I would say that's the reason why not very many people played it. It wasn't rewarding knowledge, it was rewarding skill. And you gotta kind of sort of remember that a lot of Warframe players are actually really bad with skill. We use knowledge, not skill. And that's kind of sort of where 60 Eyes kind of failed with me, is there's too much skill involved, not enough knowledge. My knowledge cannot defeat this enemy, so I'm done. Because I'm not very skillful, but I'm one of the top players in the game. Well, okay, for a Ureli player. I'll say that. For a Ureli player. And for somebody who doesn't do, level cap. But I could do level cap if I really wanted to. I unfortunately do not find it fun. I wanna try this. I wanna try this thing. I don't want to use Hunter Munitions though. I want to use something else. Let me see. No, I'll go with Hunter Munitions. I think I'm fine with that. Where'd it go? I'm gonna put it back on. Oops. Because the fire rate is fine. I think the fire rate is definitely fine. Where'd it go? Let's remove this. Serration. You know what? I have an idea. I'm gonna do this. I kind of wanted to do this anyway. Okay. Let's remove that again, just temporarily. I'm gonna maximize the potential of this weapon. Also, this is the Ureti that I decided to make the build for. Wrathful Advance and stuff. Guardian, Grace. There definitely is a danger to making your game too casual. I think that's probably like a huge thing. You gotta know your audience, and this game built its audience on people who know a lot, right? The know-it-alls of gaming. And that's like a huge thing. Oh, whoa. Is this not a maxed out Warframe? Okay, that's good to know. She's getting ready for her augment.
Your duty
Oh,
in this
no.
experiment is to dispatch as many specimens as efficiently as possible.
So she's level 22, basically. I think 30 is probably a good level to have as like your max level. I think it's actually due to the fact that 30 is kind of known as like the prime number. Does that make any sense? Because people are in their prime in the 30s, right? Like in most Warframe missions, skill and knowledge in hand, but there has to be a balance to it. That makes sense. Like skill with movement and aim, but like knowledge is what carries it a lot, right? Like you can have all the skill you want, but if you don't have like the knowledge, you can't really figure it out. And that's like a good way to like say it's like, I guess like having a balance between the two is probably something that would be important. I know that's probably why a lot of people were mad about the 60 eyes, where it would shut down your abilities. So rather than being like really knowledge based with your Warframe, it was more skill based, and that made a lot of people mad. But in my experience, that's fine, because like there are skill based players, right? Also, why MR is terrible skill indicator, yeah. Like I'm technically considered a low ranking player because I'm MR 24, but I outplay a lot of frames just by pure skill alone, or pure knowledge and skill, because you know I also managed to get headshots on Marilena. But a lot of high MR people are people who have speedrun the game with like Wukong or something, and they tend to be not the best players, right? They'll do the meta too, but they also have this weird thing of like the meta is so easy for them that they won't have the ability to deal with stuff that would take them down, you know? A good indicator of this is you ask a high MR player if they want to fight against the Corpus, and they'll have like some sort of reason as to why they don't want to do it. Because a player who is confident in their abilities, skill-wise, would take the opportunity to show their skill against a Corpus member, a Corpus mission. Because you have to deal with nullifiers, and that's the skill-based players go against the Corpus. There is definitely skill-based players out there, I will admit that, but most of the cases it's also hand in hand with knowledge, right? And that's a good way to say it. It's not just skill. I think that's a good way to do it. That's a Dracoon. This motherfucker has a Dracoon. Meanwhile, we are seeing that generally ranked players who can't understand the mission objective, more complexity than kill everything, or use something that takes more effort than use meta. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. It's like a lot of the high MR players are just people who speedrun the game. A lot of the time, a really high ranking player is actually somebody who has low ranking and has a fully decked out frame that isn't considered meta, right? I think that's a good indicator of skill, actually. You look at their frame, and it's like a frame that's not meta, and you see how decked out it is, like how much love and care they put into that frame, and you'll see that like these people definitely have something going on that's more than just I can press buttons, right? They either have really good aim, really good game sense, or they have really good knowledge. I know that I've played in Annie and Mott a lot, and I've run into some players that were rolling the strangest things and were able to do more damage than I was able to do. Usually I am the one that does the most damage, but like whenever they're rolling a frame like Nidus or something, like you have to have a lot of knowledge and skill to know how to use Nidus.
A data conduit is open.
Like I would definitely admit that I don't have the knowledge or skill to use Nidus. But I know that like there's a bunch of players who tend to be able to use Nidus really easily. And it's pretty impressive. I guess like game sense would technically be like how well you can tell about the things around you. And that's I guess like something that I should explain as well. Game sense is something that not a lot of people know what it is. It's literally, are you able to figure out what's happening around you, right? I mean, hell, I'm friends with a guy who's voluntarily saying I'm MR1 and a new account because his years of old one got banned and he's pretty skilled, yeah. Yeah. I know that getting into an argument on the chat tends to but I am number one, yeah. Yeah, also hi Gyakdos, but Gyakdos is a good example of like a player who has spent years in the game before he even touched MR1. In fact, the thing that ended up getting MR1 is merging his accounts because some of his accounts weren't like completely the same. But he has spent a lot of time on every single frame he has in Steel Path, right? He doesn't just go and take the meta and go and put it into Steel Path. He takes his time to figure out how the frame works. Yeah. PS4, which was created to Link, yeah. Yeah. I think, if you spend a lot of time... actually, here's a good one. A good way to see if you have a lot of skill with your frame is to see how long the person has been playing that frame. If you've been playing your frame for a really long time, you most likely know the ins and outs of that frame more than anybody else. Except for Wukong is probably a good example of the opposite. You know a lot about how to manipulate Wukong's bullshit, but because Wukong does the mission for you, you have this situation where a lot of the time you don't even know what is happening, and you don't adjust properly because you're used to having Wukong adjust for you, right?
The conduit is closing fast.
You hardly check out build videos? Yeah, I stopped doing that too. The only ones I ever check out nowadays is MC Gamer. Because MC Gamer has this thing where he's trying to teach you how weapons work, right? But I don't watch his Warframe videos because I kind of sort of want to figure out a Warframe on my own. And whenever I figure out a Warframe on my own, I tend to be doing way better. But a weapon, I will usually see a weapon that's like unique, or a weapon that is like lower ranking and see what he can do with it. And then I can apply that knowledge to something else, right? I do like the best recently covering along forbidding power craft weapons, yeah. In fact, want to know why he did the Oxzani? I suggested the Oxzani, and he saw it on one of his videos, and I was like, And apparently he liked it. He wanted to do the Oxani. And he actually made the Oxani do pretty well with a build that I was not expecting him to do. Which was... what was it called? It was the, Arcane Empowered. Cascadia Empowered. He was doing like 750 damage per shot. But it was like, it was, empowered damage. And I was like, oh my god, that's pretty cool. I was not expecting him to use empowered to make something powerful. It actually got me thinking about using empowered on something. Because empowered does 750 damage per shot, right? But it's also affected by multipliers. And because it's affected by not multipliers, but it's affected by elemental resistances and viral, I believe. So elemental resistances and viral mixed together to make a very dangerous weapon combination. Especially since, like, it's not per shot, it's per status. So if you have, like, enough status to do multiple statuses, it's scary. In fact, I was actually thinking about doing a weapon. Somebody was even saying that the compressor was used like that, and I was like, I should probably see if I can figure that out. Actually, I tried the compressor like that, and it actually is pretty good. The one problem with it, though, is, it doesn't work on, what are they called? Some bosses. I watched that video, I was thinking, but what about Encumber? And I was pretty satisfied with the results, yeah. That's actually, oh, hold on. That's actually a good one as well. Encumbered. Encumbered, I know I tried to use an Encumber build as well. Depends on what you're trying to do with it, yeah. In fact, the Oxani is really good. I think that's what he likes to do, is he likes to get you thinking about how to do new weapons. Twin Gorkados is actually something I tried before as well. Honestly, I was feeling down, but I'm so glad I started streaming today. The Ocpirus Prime is actually another good example of something that could work with that. And so... Okay, let's see. Let's go with... Oh, would she be asleep? Yeah. Empowered. Do I not? Oh yeah, I do have Custody empowered. Let's do this. Use the Cascade overcharged with children. Yeah, that's a good idea. I know that's definitely a good idea. I kind of want to try this to see how effective it is.
You are a true hunter. Where would the sanctuary be without you?
You can try to Encumber set up with Dex Furious, and it's pretty good when stacked up. Yeah. Encumber is super OP. Like, people knocks Cascade and Encumbered, but if it's, that's because a lot of people like to use AoEs or primers. But if you use a self-priming weapon with, the secondaries, that shit is so busted. So I'm gonna see if I can test this to see how good it is. A lot of people are kind of switch-minded, yeah. Whoa! Okay, not bad. Oh. Oh my. Yeah. They try to go easy, not really trying to take each weapon able to take out targets, yeah. That tends to be a thing. Also, holy shit, hold on, let me try something. Let's check out this. You know what, yeah, let's try this. Let's go... this, and... this, and then... Yeah. Unless it's, yeah, that's what we were discussing earlier. If it's not the best, they completely disregard it. Let's go with Scorch. Yeah, that actually is a good way to say it. The amount of work involved is usually too much for a lot of people, which is unfortunate because a lot of weapons and warframes go under the radar because they're not as good as like others. We're just gonna test can empowered by itself. Ah, okay, so there is a bit of an issue with this. Okay, I see. There is a bit of an issue with this. Okay, I see. Let's go. Let's return it to how it was. Because apparently that was perfect. Creepy bullseye. Let's go with... no, let's do target cracker. Let's switch this out for empowered. Not empowered, yeah, encumber. There we go. Got encumber on the slot. Yeah. Those are body shots, by the way. Whew. Oh my goodness. What the hell? Actually, I am using your ready, but she... in fact, let me sit still. Okay. Okay, so it does make it... she does make a big difference if you really go for it. What is the base damage of this? Okay, this base damage is like 26, right? And Twin Gricadas is 20, but with higher crit. Oh, and I have a ribbon. Let's see. Is this the same exact build, or am I missing something? I'm missing this. Actually, if I wanted to do the same exact build, I'd have to do this. There we go. Okay, same exact build with a twin Gricatas instead, and we're gonna see the difference. My channel on YouTube is under Darth Yasha here. There we go. Yeah, you should. If you like my content, I think Yakudos' content is also really good on it as well. Don't worry, we technically work together in our content, so it's fine to go for him. It's fine. It is allowed for him to advertise. I just wanted to mention that out loud, just because YouTube might get pissy. If YouTube gets pissy, you would never. It would be very unfortunate. Let's see. Let's try with the ribbon. We're gonna try with the ribbon, and then we're gonna go see if we can play with it. Oh my god! I just fucking deleted. Holy shit! As soon as you aim for the head, the man just literally disappears. Oh. And let's get rid of the ribbon though, because I'm not exactly a fan of ribbons. I like to see the weapons with their own power. I think it fires too fast. So let's see. Let's go with. Let's go with Hornet Strike. Man, I really wish I could go and like get an acolyte to spawn in here. I ran out of pharma, but I really want to use Encumber setup with my Twin Comac. Yeah, the Twin Comac would be amazing, actually. A Encumber setup with the Twin Comac would be so good. I actually had the Twin Comac, but I never, like, maxed them out. Yeah. Dude, this thing would be so broken. I put fire rate on this bitch? What was I even thinking? What was I doing with this? Oh yeah, this is back when I was a meta whore. Dude, I used to be a meta whore as well, so it's like, and not necessarily something I could like talk about without having knowledge about it, right? Because I used to be a huge meta whore. It wasn't until a late friend of mine showed me that meta isn't like the best thing, where I ended up managing to not have that as a thing in my gaming. But like, yeah, it took me a little bit to like get used to not going meta, and then I started getting into mid-maxing, which is a little bit different. Oh yeah, I don't even have encumber on this, do I? That's a lot of fucking heat procs. You don't like meta? Yeah. In my experience, for fun players tend to like not like meta. Mainly because like meta is just too it's not fun to do meta. Because the meta is like it's the most easiest to do. But it's not the fact that it's the most easiest to do most of the time. It's just like it's usually the most basic in my experience as somebody who has experienced like a lot of meta talk and stuff. It's usually extremely basic. And I know it sounds weird, but I believe that basic usually is just too basic to enjoy, you know? Like, I like lazy tanks, but the lazy tanks usually have to have, like, a really good weapon to go with them. And most of the really fun weapons are the ones that aren't even meta, right? I think somebody was saying how, like, there was a mesa that they saw that was like a it was like a support mesa that took away the core and did something completely different with it. And apparently he was saying it was super fun, but he wouldn't want to do it because it's like it feels strange. And that's how I felt at first when it came to min-maxing the non-meta builds, is it felt a little bit strange. But once I got to a point where playing with stuff that was like not meta became like how I preferred to play, it ended up blooming into a situation where it's just I like making things that are fun mechanics into something that's powerful, you know? Like this weapon is probably a good example of that. Like this weapon is just like the comb, but secondary, right? But getting this to work is kind of difficult. It's single target and it likes to bull up, and when it bulls up, it actually gains more multi-shot, which makes it to where it takes away more ammo. And that's how this thing works. But getting this thing to work is fun. Like once you finally get it to actually work, it's kind of hilarious. It's like the funny weapon, you know? And that's kind of like the thing is like if it was supposed to be if it was not supposed to be fun, it wouldn't just be it would have just been a regular weapon, right? Like a regular something like this. Like this, like a regular hand machine gun, right? This is kind of boring, but this is hilarious when you get it to work. I think another example is this, because you know, its thing is like it fires a shotgun blast of fanning the fire, right? And yeah, all run out of forma is also another thing as well. A lot of people run out of forma when they're trying to make something work. But my mission in this game is to make everything work. So that's where my thing about I'm not bored of this game yet comes from. Is technically I have not done everything. I still need to make everything in this game capable in its own right, you know? You have 3 left? Oh no. Yeah, that happens. Oh yeah, I put galvanized crosshairs on here for some reason. Oh, it's because somebody said to use galvanized crosshairs on another weapon. And I wanted to see if it would work for this, but I forgot that Yureti cannot use galvanized crosshairs. Like, legitimately, Yureti cannot use that unless she's on off of the board, right? Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but it is true. But galvanized shots should definitely work. And deadhead. Within 5 hours, I went from 10 forma to 1. Yeah. When you find something, when you find a project you really enjoy making work, it tends to be quite interesting. Let's see. You've done that? Yeah. Creepy bullseye. Shot. Let's see. Should I do cold? Oh, cold is probably another one that could be good. Wait, do I have corrosive? Oh, corrosive. Almost annoying is when you get back and completely redo builds. Oh yeah, that's usually pretty annoying. When you find out a build that works, and then all of a sudden DE decides we're gonna release this new mod, and it's like, uh-oh. So you gotta redo your shit. That has happened to me a couple of times. Oh, when you get a ribbon? Yeah, that's another one. I haven't found a good ribbon that, okay. I've only found one ribbon that I wanted to change my entire loadout for, and that was the compressor ribbon, because the compressor ribbon was an interesting monster. Critical chance. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I think we're good. And I wanted to play with this. Bertrand Vandal because of a ribbon. But the payoff was worth it, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go take this for a spin. I think it might be the last mission of the day, because I know I technically am not gonna be doing a video today because I don't feel like it. Like, I don't feel like mentally prepared for it. But I do want to end it early just because even though it was fun being here, I just feel like that the video has a lot of people mad and a lot of people like not mad, so it's very mixed messages. And the fact that, like, I don't know, I just feel like it feels like sometimes when you're growing really quickly, I heard this from somewhere, it feels like the foundation can come crumbling down at any moment. And that's how I kind of feel right now, is that my foundations are shaking. And I just have to make sure that my foundations are good before I continue making videos. But streaming, I'm good. I'm good on streaming. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to fight Amar with the kunai. I'm gonna take it for a spin. I kind of want to go solo. Hold on. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna. Oh, wrong one. This Shirelli. I'm gonna go this kunai. Regarding audience, more eyes judging you. That's what. Take that for what you will. That makes sense. That could either be like a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the situation. I do appreciate my audience. It's when somebody like comes in and they're not intending to be the audience, they just want to talk shit. That usually bothers me. It's mostly because that's never happened before. And I've mentioned this before, but you kind of sort of have to experience something in order to get used to it, right? You kind of sort of have to be used to it in order for it to not be a negative thing. So I just have to like sit there and process the argument that's happening on my video before I continue. I just have to sit there and think about it, you know? It's starting to like not... Every single time it starts not bothering me anymore, there's another thing that I've never faced before happening on that argument. So yeah, I mean, having someone defend me by throwing insults is interesting. It's just that I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I was trying to hit those guys in the head so much, but my brain was also... You know how like you're deep in thought and you are just sitting there, and what ends up happening is your eyes start going a little bit blurry as you're daydreaming? That's what was happening. My vision was blurry, but I was not exactly seeing what was in front of me. It definitely is bothering me a lot. It's just that I have to adjust. I'm not like in need of anything. It's just I just need to adjust. I haven't adjusted properly yet. There we go.
Amar! He will close the distance shockingly fast when he creates duplicates.
Oh, you fucker.
For
Oh,
the
there he
ones
is.
armed.
Pretty good. Oh. Ah, I found your dome, fool. Give me a hug. Ah, fuck. Bad dog. Eh.
Fazul has barred the way to us heathens.
Yeah.
But stolen deacon veils should
I think actually, weirdly enough, the person was basically saying you guys were soft. I think he kind of sort of lost the argument at the very beginning. What he was trying to do was kind of sort of one-up the person by getting them to respond and stuff. I think what ended up happening is that he continued rather than just let it go. I guess like a good way to like manipulate somebody into owning themselves is to do so and then never interact with them again. What he did as kind of like I guess it's like a novice's way of doing what he did was he eventually answered again, and which is unfortunate. I'm not to diss the person because I know he was trying to help me out. It's just that you want to cause somebody to do a self burn, you probably don't want to. You probably want to do exactly what he did, and then like not answer again. Because that's where it makes it funny. I learned that from actually getting into an argument of the same caliber, where somebody was like insulting somebody, right? And I came in and insulted them, and then they answered like they were desperate, and then I answered somebody else's question, and it fell apart from there. That happens a lot. So what you want to do is you want to stay adamant about not interacting again, and just let them own themselves. Kind of like a weird piece of advice for somebody who has basically been just trying to troll a troll. Trolling a troll is actually easy. It's just that you kind of sort of have to stay fast when it comes to the certain way you're doing it. Did you forget you have a helmet? Yeah. helmet, yeah. No, I didn't forget I had a helmet. I am currently just doing, oops, this. Check this out. Oh shit! You're ready! You naughty! Yeah, sure. Well, at least they didn't take her down. I've seen that before. Yeah, she wanted me to come to her, so I did. Oh! This is definitely balanced around having multiple people, but I think, yeah, I think it's fine.
The wolf was a mentor to me long ago. From him, I learned the wisdom of deception. Amar will prove
Sorry.
a cunning opponent.
Animation looks like you're whacking them with the helmet, yeah. Oh, I didn't hit the head. There we go, I got that. Okay, I wasted 4 on that. So I needed to only waste 3. Oh, they got rid of that glitch. Remember the glitch where you really would have to press the melee button in order to... Uh-oh. I think that's... Yeah. This thing definitely has the damage, but it's a bit slow on the draw. Yeah.
Amar thought himself a hunter. Now, he is a mere trophy.
Definitely, because of how slow it is more powerful than the dual toxicist each shot, but it doesn't shoot fast enough. But if I were to shoot fast enough, it would actually lower the damage. So, yeah. That's how damage automation works. If you take out too much of the health for a certain amount of time, it increases the damage deduction. And it also starts at 50 in order to stop people from using the heck. They started to have it to where people couldn't use the heck, but it also affected other weapons as well. The Vastalok is actually a huge victim of that, because the Vastalok used to be like just as powerful, but that's Vastalok. Is it Vasto? No, another. Yeah, the Vasto. Sorry, the Vasto. The Vasto used to be just as powerful. Or the Prime version specifically. What else can I do? I want to get to that 3-hour mark, but yeah. I think what it is I'm dreading turning my stuff back into you know what? I'm just gonna see it right now. I need to see what's up. Oh, apparently I'm in my live streaming YouTube studio, so I want to see if there's something you're actually worried about. Okay, so you know what? Not even any notifications, so I have nothing to worry about. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I don't even have any. I don't have a reason to worry. I was just like super worried about going back and seeing what was up with that video. It seems to have very much slowed down. Lots of negative comments, but the negative comments seems to have stopped. The amount of likes is a lot more than the amount of dislikes. It's just, it's very confusing as to why the dislikes are happening, you know? That's why, like, the only two things I can think of is the intro and the outro, like they were saying, and the fact that I refuse to use hunter munitions. But also the fact that I refuse to use hunter munitions seems to be helpful for people who don't like hunter munitions, and so they're liking the video. I'm gonna put your ready away for a little bit, and I'm gonna play with... What am I gonna play with? I don't use hunter munitions either, yeah. I prefer to kill with the actual bullet, because it can take out acolytes easier. I have a whole bunch of waifus, but I'm not sure which waifu I want to use. I like Nova, but Nova, I'm not sure if I would like to use her right now. She's more of a solo kind of plaything. Corvex is good, but I play a lot of Corvex already. I kind of want to... Oh, you know what? I kind of want to try this. I want to try the circuit. It's been a long time since I've tried the circuit. What do I have? Is there anything I want to use? Actually, straight up no. Yeah, straight up no on that. I do not want to use any of that. And I'll finish your on off and do the nitro cells? Yeah. Whenever you get enough time, we could probably do nitro cells together. Wait, did I ever do nitro cells this week? Did I do nitro cells this week? I don't remember. If I remember correctly, I did it with somebody. I think it was... Oh yeah, it was with Butchie Cat. I was with Butchie Cat. And we did the nitro cells together. Let's see. I kind of want to do the kunai again, but I want to use it against I want to use it in what you call. So let's go to regular build and Deadhead. Need to use it too, yeah. Let's see. I guess the reason my mom was wondering why I feel like sad sometimes. And the thing is, like, she wouldn't understand it, so I don't ever like go and tell her about it. About the fact that it's just the people on the internet. She thinks my life is like super easy, which it is. It's just that even an easy life can have people who tear it down. And that's like the huge thing is like, my life is easy, yes, but it's still stressful because of how I interact with other people, you know? It's not necessarily the life itself, it's more the people who are in it, right? That's what I'm mostly thinking about. Where the fuck is everybody? I also was confused as to whether or not it was Steel Path. I'll definitely admit my life is easy, but I will say even an easy life can be terrible if somebody were to try and tear you down, because it's not that hard to tear somebody down. Because if you know what button to push, you know what button to push, right? I guess the one thing with me is, like, I like to make sure that people are happy. And not being able to make people happy is the button to push, you know? Like, making it as if my fault your day is worse is, like, really bad for me, right? But it's just something I have to get used to because now that I'm starting to get a little bit bigger, it's kind of like a thing that's just gonna happen, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, I wanted to, I mentioned this earlier on my other stream. I wanted to mention to you guys on this game. So, there was a bit of an issue. There was, but it's not no longer a thing. I just wanted to talk about it. There's a big issue where some streamers were saying that streaming is hard, right?
The operative has
And the way they were doing it was comparing it to other jobs. And I think that's sort of like a thing you should never do, is compare your life to somebody else's life, because when it comes down to it, unless you live that life, you have no right to say which one is like worse or better. Especially since in most cases, it feels like somebody is calling out your way of life. Like, say, if somebody were to be a surgeon and they were gonna say like, oh, carpentry is easy, or the other way around. As somebody who isn't a carpenter, you shouldn't say that, because you're comparing a life you don't have, right, to a life that you do have. And nobody likes to have their life being told that it's inferior to somebody else's life, you know? And it's not necessarily, like one job is harder than the other, because usually that's subjective, right? It's just never compare your life to somebody else's. That's usually when it starts causing issues. I think that's what people need to stop trying to do. Like, oh, your life is really easy. Does that mean it's not stressful? I can say sometimes. Carpentry is easy, so people can measure property, which seems to be difficult. That's actually a huge thing. Is like, carpentry has a lot of like things that could make it a lot really complicated, and in most cases, like, it's an education thing. Not only that, but depending on your on where you're doing the carpentry, it can be bad. It's definitely a thing of like, yeah. And speak on the front, I have built various stuff. Yeah. Definitely like that's like a good example, a good way to say it is like, yeah. When it comes to me, I've lived in a thing where I was a donations company guy. And I would say life as a streamer compared to life as a donations company guy is probably, for me, I would say it like that, for me, easier. Because the only thing I had to deal with was a homeless man who ended up getting arrested anyway. But for the internet, I have to deal with the opinions of other people and having to entertain them constantly. I know it's technically a hobby, but I still find myself having it as a kind of pseudo calling. So I don't want to like disappoint people. And it's literally tied to the fact that I'm that type of streamer where I have to do right by my audience, and that's like the thing, is like if I can't do right by my audience, I feel like I let you guys down. And there's also the donation company guys who don't care about their customers at all, right? Like their customers could be literally nothing but, and that could be like the streamer who cares about nothing but numbers and money. That's like a good example of the different types of like streamers versus different types of like people in donation companies. The donation company guy who literally does not care about the donation company at all and just wants his goddamn paycheck. Versus the one who wants to make sure the person who donated had a good experience donating so they can come back again. Like, that's like a good way to explain it. Not in streamer terms though. But in streamer terms, you could explain it like this. Are you one of those kinds of people who just want the numbers, or are you just the kind of guy who wants to make sure your audience is happy? right? Because there's a big difference between the two. And they have different amounts of stress. Because doing it like I'm doing it to try and make sure you guys are happy is super stressful. Because what if you guys are not happy, you know? But if I were to only think about the numbers, it's not as stressful. Because the numbers can be gotten literally by making hate content. Which is what a lot of Warframe creators do. Well, actually not a lot of them, just like a couple of them. The really high-ranking ones. Like, oh, you know, actually as a good example, Pupsker and the Skimmers. Because apparently Destiny got the Skimmers idea from Warframe. And Pupsker thinks it's like hilarious because he calls it the goofiest thing from Warframe. And I'm like, yeah, it could be me at the moment watching Wiggles for the, I don't know how many times, yeah. Yeah. I think the weird thing is like, Pupsker, he likes to follow the algorithm rather than actually make good content. And Owen's content is usually okay in quality because, you know, he's one of those people who probably has like a lot of resources and skills to do it. But in most cases, he's kind of sort of just following an algorithm check. Whenever you know he's running out of ideas when he has the situation where he's talking about Wisp or like asses and shit. But whenever he talks about K-Drive, he's usually being an asshole about it. And I think it's literally the fact that like that's what the audience wants, or at least that's what he perceives the audience wants. Because, you know, some people go to YouTube to watch certain videos to get mad. Certain videos are watched because it makes them mad, you know? And other people like to watch things that is negative just because they like to think the negative things too. Like, I know I watch a lot of content about, like, anti-woke shit. But that's like a weird algorithm thing, you know? Yes, that's what it is. So I'm kind of making my how-to Warframe, yeah. Like, negativity gets a lot of views, but I hate doing negativity videos because I attract the wrong people. And whenever I see a lot of people do it, I don't watch it because I don't want to see it. But I know damn well it's gonna get a lot of views. Like, if I were, like my, proof that mastery rank means nothing video, I thought it was just gonna be a fun video, but I ended up causing a lot of issues. And I was like, oops. But I kept it on there because that kind of sort of was supposed to be a fun video, and a lot of people do that. Informative videos, yeah. I think that's the thing. Is like, if I were to try to be a true creator, I probably would have to do things people don't like, because people who do things people don't like get a lot of views. But I kind of sort of don't want to be like that, you know? Literally, the reason why I don't like Hunter Munitions is because I don't like it. It's not because it somehow wronged me, it's just, I just don't like it. So I don't use it. Yeah. Asking them what kind of videos they want you to do. That's like a thing that I tried before, but in lots of cases, it's usually something that they don't even know themselves. It's a weird little thing to say, but like, in most cases, a video that they want to see is a video that they know is possible, but you kind of sort of have to show them it's possible before they'll say that they want it, right? like with me, I could probably say that with animations, but they'd probably want something stupid like, oh, what's a good idea? What's a good example? It'd probably be something like me making a sexy dance with a Warframe. I guess I could probably make a video like that. But I kind of sort of don't want to because I save my animations for something specific. So I'm sorry, but I could definitely make you guys a animation about a sexy dance, but I'm not gonna do it because my animations are made for adults. So my Cuba Hunter series, honestly, I did make my Joe Tessa got lots of questions on it. Yeah.
Look what our Tenno operative just found. They
I definitely, since Tessa needed to know information, it's probably a good idea. The one thing is that whenever you, I'll probably say this because you know I've experienced it. You have a strange situation where you say things in a way that isn't understandable. Like you say things in a way that is not the normal way to say something, to a point where it's not very easy to understand what you're trying to say. Yeah. That's just the one thing I would say about that is whenever you try to explain something, you explain it in a way that isn't understandable. I've done that before, and it usually stems from you knowing what you're talking about, but not knowing how somebody else would be able to understand that. I think I've mentioned that with like you and Tet, right? You kind of sort of have to dumb it down for an idiot. Yeah. I remember like listening in on a conversation that you were having with Tessa, and you were trying to explain something, but you were explaining one thing at a time, and you were also explaining it in a way where she couldn't understand. So when I hopped in there and told her something, I told it as simply as possible, as if I was talking to somebody who didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know what they were talking about. And they ended up realizing, oh yeah, so it's like playing Password. And I'm like, yes. So I think teaching is probably a little bit hard for you. You just have to get kind of used to it. I know that teaching people things is something I kind of sort of had to practice as well. It's all in the way you dumb it down for somebody who doesn't know what you're talking about. Like, I think like it depends on what you're teaching. Yeah, I think the thing is that that's kind of like a weird way. That's kind of like not the best way to talk about it, because whenever you're talking to a casual of something, they're not going to know any of the terminology, right? And that's one of the things you kind of struggle with when it comes to teaching about tech. I noticed that whenever you teach about tech, you assume that we know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what it is. That remember that you're talking to a baby. Probably not a baby because you don't want to do the baby voice. But you gotta remember that you're talking to somebody who has never heard of anything you're talking about, right? For real, yeah. And that's probably like a good way to say it as well. It's like, imagine you're talking to somebody who has never experienced anything that you're talking about. They're probably going to want to have some other things to reference, right? So a good way to think about it is I'll use Tessa as an example. How old is Tessa? Where did Tessa grow up? What kind of games does Tessa play? And then you could say, oh, I can hearken it to those situations. That's how teaching usually works. When it comes to somebody who's like on Warframe, a good way to do it is to use what the acronyms stand for rather than the acronyms themselves. Because everybody was talking about meta for a long time, but I didn't know what meta stood for. So a good way to do it is say most efficient tactics available. Because nobody knows what meta actually stands for, legitimately. And because of that, it's best to use that acronym as what it stands for, right? It's probably a really interesting example, because I know that a lot of people don't know what it stands for as they teach. I've run into a lot of people who try to teach things who don't even know what the acronym stands for. And that's why, like, using an acronym is probably, like, the worst way to teach somebody. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're at 3 hours. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I will be here tomorrow though. On Warframe again. The thing is that I kind of sort of am stressed out playing Warframe. So next week on Wednesday, I'm not gonna play Warframe on Wednesday. But I'm pretty sure this stress is gonna last for a long time. So yeah, maybe streaming sometime. Yeah. Man, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Hold on. Oh, there was something in my throat. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So I will see you guys next time. Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm too stressed out to, end it the way I usually do. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Good night. Gotta pop my bones because my back is all stiff and shit. Ah, God. Ah. I'm gonna need to, get that, rod of back correction. Good night.